I'll just start recording right now.
Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew. So, let's go Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with, as always? Joseph Huggins, a.k.a. Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 146. I pirouetted into Simone Biles' DMs, y'all. Let me tell you about it, motherfuckers. What's up? We don't need to do a break anymore.
I was like, what's up, dude? How are you, sir?
I'm good. Simone Biles was like one of the first topics that we ever talked about on this podcast, because it was when she got the spins or what the twisties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like early. It was before you think you even were a guest, and we were talking about it. And what's his fucking face? Novak Djokovic.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking shit about Simone Biles, and he was like, "You got to play through it like a champion." And I was like, "What the fuck what have you won?" I was like, I got so upset, and like I just go, "You're a joke like a bitch, Djokovic."
Yeah. I've thought about this, and also, I mean, what's up, dude? Glad to see you. Always a pleasure. Yeah, Simone Biles is a badass. I think women won their second, or they won gold this afternoon. So now she has 8 medals. She's the most decorated. Olympian of all time. 5 of those being gold.
No, not of all time, not Olympian of all time, gymnast.
A gymnast of all
American
time.
gymnast.
Yeah, American gymnast.
But which could be of all time, of any gymnast. But yeah. Let's just get it clear, because Michael Phelps is out here holding gold medals.
Yeah, but how many? Yeah, how many does he have? He has something absurd. It's like
it's ridiculous.
It's like 22 or something.
He lost one like on the way to the locker room.
Yeah. He's like, oh, did I drop that? I'll just keep it, man. Don't worry about it. I only have so many drawers, you know. God. Right. And think when people remember. Do you remember when he got caught smoking weed at some like party, like ripping a bong, and everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. It's like, that's really impressive. Like, that makes it even, you know.
Well, his lungs are so big. Like, what is he supposed to do? Not inhale weed?
That's true. I think if he's just like within 2 blocks of it, he's gonna be getting some sort of like, you know, contact high. There was that one Canadian freestyle snowboarder who won gold and got stripped of gold because he tested positive for weed.
I thought it was a prerequisite if you're a snowboarder.
That's what I said. There was like something about it being like a performance enhancing drug. That was one of the. I was like, I guess like
possibly.
If it makes everything go in slow mo, sure. But I mean, if things get choppy for no reason, I guess. But
I mean, I used to say that I played ice hockey better high, but I never played not high, so I never, there was no sample.
And then Sha'Carri Richardson, Texas's own, let's go. She didn't even get to compete in the last Olympics because she ate an edible. So pretty wild. Yeah, that's crazy. And then obviously there's a really good.
And then Putin's like, yo, Brittany Griner, hold my beer.
Well, you can watch that documentary. It was on Netflix for a long time, Icarus, which talks about like the Russian doping scandal. That shit's wild. Like, come on, man, they're pulling that shit. She ate like a weed gummy off of fucking Pinterest, and she got banned. But yeah, I mean,
times have changed.
Times have changed.
Like that wasn't even that long ago. But it seems like decades ago.
Yeah, but no. Back to get on my original thought is her dropping out. We've seen lots of athletes, some tennis players, golf, across a spectrum of sports of people taking out because of their mental health, because of things like whenever they're not doing well. We did see Simone Biles do that, where she like wasn't feeling right, decided not to compete. We've seen so much that maybe that's why she's able to come back and compete. That's the difference. Is I've noticed that now them being more open and honest about wherever they're at in their headspace, whether you agree with them or not. I think it's better than the alternative.
Listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying. Whether you agree with what they're going on in their own headspace.
Well, no. I mean, what I'm saying, it takes all kinds to go around the world, and we can't necessarily control how we feel about things. Like, that's how we react to the world around us. Things can make us feel a certain way. I can control my emotions. I can control, not control my response to it and make sure that I'm not like...
Do we agree whether or not that these people
There's people who
have
think,
a legitimate cause? It's like they work their entire lives to go to the fucking Olympics. They're not like coming up with excuses to bow out.
There's all sorts of people who come up with what seem like ridiculous reasons.
I know, but we don't have to give them credit here on the pod. We don't have to we don't have to be like play it both sides on.
This is just
whether you agree with it or not. If Simone Biles had the twisties,
I'm just saying is if you think that her if you think it's detrimental or not, it's good. We've seen the outcome of athletes across a array of sports throughout history suffer from tons of mental health, tons of drug abuse, from suicides to assaults, all these other things.
They're humans.
And to be human about it is like, it's extremely refreshing. So not only is she the most decorated gymnast of all time, she'll also be remembered as somebody who, rightfully so, was like, hey, I need a fucking timeout.
Yeah, open the door to be able to, like get the stigma off of mental health.
And
it's just like injuring your like quad or your calf.
It's like, hey, timeout. I gotta fucking walk away from this shit. And what's interesting is in our own personal lives we crave that from the people that are our bosses or in leadership or whatever. We want that grace, but then when someone like Simone Biles is like, hey, I can't do this right now, everyone's like, get the fuck out of here.
No, not everyone, not me, dude.
No, but there is
not the pod.
Well, obviously not the pod, but there is a demographic of people who feel that way about these people who are like athletes, whether Olympic or they play in the NFL. I can't believe Brett Favre's retiring. I hate him. And they're like, fuck that guy. It's like, dude, he's like pilled out all the time doing Levi's jean commercials, like being creepy. Like, he needs to walk away. Brett Favre you can't criticize somebody for, that's a bad example not to use that in the same bracket, but you understand what I'm saying is like
it steals from poor people.
Not only does she represent like the greatest medaling gymnast in America, like of all time, but also it's like she represents something so much more, that somebody that great also can be that human at the same time.
Right. And I mean, and while she set the stage, I'll just be human too. So your boy, when I got sober, they also gave me antidepressants, like a low dosage, 10 milligrams of Lexapro. But guess what, guys? I'm out here in the streets fucking, and sometimes my penis doesn't work. And I was like going back and forth whether like this is like me being sober in my head, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, well, it's hard to tell if it's being sober or if it might be like a side effect because I heard some stuff about antidepressants or a side effects. I did it at the same time. So I had an appointment with my psychiatrist last week. And I just kind of mentioned, I was like, hey, with Lexapro, is there like side effects with like libido? She's like, yeah, there definitely can be. And I was like, and then she like takes over. She's like, it could be like libido, it could be like getting or keeping an erection, or it could be like delayed from ejaculation, delay of ejaculation, which is sometimes why we prescribe it. And I was like, wait, what?
Damn, did she got a commercial on you, dude? And you're like, wait,
well,
what?
Like that. I was like, wait, they prescribe antidepressants to people so that they don't like come too quickly. Like that's what she was saying. And I was like, so I don't get into that. And I was like, the first two. And she goes, yeah. So, well, like, how long have you been on it? And she, it's been like since March 2023. And she's like, well, usually when like you do like a new drug like that, like after a year, like we want you to kind of come off of it anyways, like So what I can do is, how about for a month you start doing 5 milligrams instead of 10, and see if anything changes. She goes, and after that month, if you want to just get off of it, just get off of it. And like a big mistake, and they talk about this at like the residential therapy shit that I was at, is like people start feeling good and shit when they get sober and on antidepressants, you know,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh dude, I feel good, and they stop taking them, and then they're like right back in rehab. And so like it's like, yeah, you were feeling good because you're taking antidepressants, you know. It's
Yeah.
like so I didn't want to be that guy, but with the guide of my psychiatrist, and you know, and we're gonna like do it responsibly. I'm stoked. And then she's like, and if not, like, you know, there's always like Viagra. And I was like, baby, I'm more of a Cialis kind of guy, but you know, we'll get there.
Yeah, dude, that's
So your boy, it's insane, and it's like, if this really is fucking up my libido, like, dude, and
well.
imagine
I
the
mean,
sex.
well, I'm just saying. I mean, you've been on this journey of being sober, and it's been super awesome. So I mean, I you're in a completely different headspace now than you were when you started this. So I don't. While you've been taking antidepressants, I don't think if you slowly come off of them, I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing. I think you're past the point of feeling good or being good because you're on antidepressants.
Oh, totally. And
Yeah.
I'm like, my dog takes 4 times as much as me a day.
Okay.
So like I'm not taking a high dose. But like alcohol can cause depression, right?
Yeah, it's a depressant.
Right. So there could be that, and like there's something to be said, like maybe like coming out, like I used to drink a lot. So like coming out of it, like getting like a boost with an antidepressant, like as your brain's, you know, recovering and shit. So I get that. But yeah, they really haven't done studies past 18 months on antidepressants. Like some people get them and they're like on them for the rest of their life. And I'm not saying, because I don't know, that it wouldn't help you the rest of your life, but I don't, like, that's not how they were like supposed to be. You know, that's not how the studies went. So it makes sense all around anyways, you know.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, shout out to you, shout out to the doc.
I'm
Going
just
all
throwing
come.
Biles a podcast, you know, and ED.
But there's so many ways that could change, like or delayed ejaculation, or to delay ejaculation, and you're like, oh well, definitely the first two, and then she's like, are you sure? You're like, wait, what?
Well, no, the third one might also apply, but that's not what I'm worried about.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's just like such a wild turn. Like you found out that what you're
Oh, yeah,
on can be used for something like the polar
they'll
opposite.
prescribe that, yeah.
Either you don't want
Can you
these
imagine?
side
Can you
effects.
imagine going to a psychiatrist and being like, "Hey, yo, like I come really quickly, like when I have sex," and they're like, "Oh, here's some antidepressant. It will stop you from coming and getting hard,
Yeah.
and being interested in having sex in general."
Good luck. You'll be happy as fuck though. He's like, I'm already pretty positive. I'm already pretty happy all the time. It's like, oh, just you wait.
Yeah.
Well, shout out. Hell yeah, man. I mean,
I wasn't planning on, just fucking around, but that is true.
any
Also, me and the Iron Ape Tyson just got the keys to our new townhouse.
Oh, nice.
On Sunday. So officially, like, it's weird. Like, neither of us have really been talking about it that much, because it's kind of like we'll believe it when we see it. Because like, I've been crashing at my parents' house ever since I got out of therapy, and then he's been living at my mom's hairdresser's because she had an open room and he needed a room, and it's like really far away for like. So he's been driving like an extra 2 hours commute, like 1 hour each way for work.
Yeah.
So it all kind of just came together. Now we have like a fucking nice ass townhouse, 2 room, 2 bath, and we're getting a good number on it. We're paying way less than like what a normal person would pay because it's like from friends, and it's like down the street from my parents' house. So I can still help out my mom with my dad. So,
yeah, no man, that's good. Fuck yeah. I mean, you've been grinding your ass off, so
yeah,
just keep it
good
going.
times. Things are going. It's like I used to hear all these old time sober people when I was first getting sober be like, when you get sober, just like good things just start happening, man. It's like, okay, dude, I feel like shit. Fuck you. And then it's like, it kind of is true. It's like you get sober, and then you're not like getting into like, even like when you're not like doing terrible things when you're drinking and stuff, but just like getting hungover, and then just like there's just so much stuff that you miss out on.
Yeah, you mentioned that before, where it's like,
Yeah.
you're always okay. Well, I'm sleeping till 3 on this Saturday because I was up all night and I was drinking, doing whatever. So if I wanted to go to brunch, you'd never make it because you're always oversleeping or you're showing up still kind of fucked up from the day before.
Right, and those micro things add up to
Yeah.
a macro of your life of missing out, like on shit.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like I will grind it at the poker tables and then spend all day Saturday sleeping, like I just did. But
yeah, but I mean that's completely different though. I mean, number one, you're being profitable at it. So if anybody wants to give you shit,
it's a side hustle.
It's like the gambling curse, it's like the support of the devil when you're gambling. Because if you're winning, it's just like, hey man, shut the fuck up. Like I'm up. In the past like 2 months, I've made like $200K playing poker. Eat shit. Who cares if I stay up all night? Have a job or not? You can't tell me shit. The moment you start losing that, like, changes. And since you've been, sober, it's also become kind of a cathartic thing for you and going in there and figuring it out. You have a new approach to an old challenge that you've always like loved.
Well, it's something
like
that I've always
firing.
thought I could do. But back to the drinking. It was like I was never playing 3 days in a row seriously, like at a table,
definitely.
because it's like I'd be getting drunk the whole time the first night, and I'm not coming back the second day to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is now your approach is different, your outcome's been different, and it's been like a good way for you to. Because some of the times that you would be out drinking and doing something else, you might be playing poker and grinding. You're winning. It's fun for you, so it's like that. You're extremely good at it, and you're only getting better. So it's like kind of been like a release for you, if that makes sense, but not in a detrimental way.
Right, and I keep like hardcore stats on myself, like as far as like I know like how much per hour I'm making. I know like per session, what kinds of sessions, what like how much I make there, how much I make playing like online. So
and you've
I'm
always
because I didn't always do that, and this because I didn't know how hard I was going to go on this run, and like I wanted to go hard, but I didn't know how long it was going to last. Because I could always just say, yeah, dude, I'm like good at poker, I'm winning, because it felt like it. But like it's like, well, maybe I should, if I'm gonna be playing this bunch, I should know if I'm actually winning.
Yeah, well, and that's where you would be. Like one thing that you have is you have always been good, but you have the ability to walk away. But before, especially with like the drinking and shit, if you were playing, you're just like, you're not walking away. It's like a defiance. You have a rational confidence about.
I have that.
I know.
Born with the irrational.
Oh, I know. When you've been drinking, sometimes it is astronomically confident.
I don't know how,
which
it
is
get more,
great.
but okay.
I've we could tell stories that we shouldn't tell on air. No, I know that we shouldn't tell on air, but like, and those are from decades ago. But it's definitely cool to see. Super proud of you. I think moving out would be good for you to get this townhome. I think you're ready for that, and I think that you're also where your amazing fam's at. I think that'd be like, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good time for you there, and it's cool to see you go into the next chapter.
Yeah, shout out. We're gonna throw a housewarming party. We're registered IKEA, Wayfair, and Leaf, the local dispensary. So if you want to get us gifts,
well, I'll definitely. Well, I'll have to come out there and just visit, and then I can just crash at your place. And because I would crash at your parents' house, that'd just be way too much like being back in high school, middle school.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's like 2 stories and like vaulted ceilings and patio. We got a pool. Like the complex has a pool.
That's cool.
We're working on a deal. Maybe the HOA fees are like $5.7 or $5.50 a month.
Damn.
And that's like baked into our rent. But we're working on a deal. If we clean the pool for the condo.
Yeah.
Maybe waive the HOA fees.
Ooh, that's smart.
Because both of us are poolmen. I worked with ChatGPT on getting nicknames for the townhouse, and I was like, I narrowed it down, passed it over to the Iron Apes. Wanted to see what he thought, and then just like when I became a liquid leisure luminary, I realized I could have multiple nicknames. So right now, the top 3 nicknames for the townhouse, and audience, please, send in your suggestions, is the splash pad, aka the wet spot, aka the pool house.
Well, I mean, pool house is great, but I feel like it's too simple.
People will think it's an actual pool house.
Yeah, I think, or they'll just be like, oh, you guys now. Splash pad.
The splash pad.
The splash pad. The splash zone.
Ooh.
Not that bad. Sea World.
No.
Hold on. Or you could do a play on off of SeaWorld. You could find something out. That would be better. But I mean, because the pool house, just like,
No, I
it's
get
like,
it. But like I can see people being like, "Hey, you going over to the pool house tonight?" You know,
yeah,
knowing that it's the two guys that
yeah,
dominate the pool industry.
yeah. The splash pad sounds better.
That is the one. That
That's
was my
good.
favorite, and that was Tyson's. So that's really the name of it. But then we can just come up with iterations as the years go on.
We'll have to get some sort of sign that says that.
We already said that too, like a neon one. But that's just
No,
expensive.
don't get a neon one. It'd be cooler. It's
Well,
got
because our well,
what type of pool house?
a client of ours who was famous, who I won't name, has neon because in Hidden Hill. Well, oh, it doesn't matter. I didn't say his name, but in this neighborhood, everybody has a sign on their outside of their mansion, and it like you can make it say whatever you want. And like, there's one that says the Epstein Five, Paradise Found. It was like, that didn't hold up well.
No, that's
It's usually like a pun on their last name or like a saying of blah blah blah. But this client of ours, he's got his, and then he's got a neon sign with that same name that he put out there. It's pretty tight. So we were talking about that.
I'd make mine say some sort of brain rot stuff like the Riz Palace or something.
Oh,
good.
the Riz Palace
something
is not
good.
bad.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, but you
my
need to get like
room
a
is-
wooden sign. You need to get a sign that's like wooden.
We have a wood one that says home.
And then but you need to get something like that, but make it say like a splash pad, and have it like look
Splash
like
pad is
big.
here for neon, baby.
'Cause
the
the-
vibe is neon.
Is it? It's
Neon
a
sign?
neon vibe of that is a splash pad. It's more of like a not a boathouse feel, but more of like a
Surf house.
neon surf house.
Yeah.
That's tight. That's a good name, the Neon Surf House. NSF, dude. You going to or
right.
NSH? You going to the NSH, dude? Neon Surf House, dude. It's tight, bro. Can't
Dude,
miss it.
I heard Sticky was DJing.
Yeah, can't miss it. It's got a big neon fucking sign. It's obnoxious as shit. You can't miss it.
No, all of our neighbors are like elderly people too. Supposedly, I haven't met them, but
That's chill. I mean, just be careful with the parties. Keep it down.
Right.
But that's where you got to do something cool. If it's a lot of older, you guys gotta like bake cookies or something, and then go introduce yourself to your neighbors.
no, because like one of the elderly people had because the guy who lived there with his wife before is best friends with the Iron Ape, and he would like go and help her like do shit around the house. And so Tyson is the Iron Ape. Tyson's like, oh, so don't talk to her. So he doesn't have to go do shit for her.
Oh, that's not. Oh man, that's you never know. You gotta be.
Yeah, whatever.
You gotta be nice to him. Man.
Let's get it cracking.
All right, therapy questions. Therapy question number 1. This is based around some comments that have been made recently by a particular VP candidate.
Who?
JD Vance.
I know. Okay, well, we don't need to be secretive about that.
The alleged, unalleged, not real, but I kind of like to believe it's real couch fucker. Should people with kids have more of a say in government? What?
This is insanity. Because okay, dude, like imagine like how they, were calling like Reagan talked about like welfare queens.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so that was like about like a black lady who has like, and it was made up. This person didn't even exist, but she had like 13 kids like on welfare checks that she was collecting. So that's what JD Vance is now saying that the Republican Party is for is like people like her should get 14 votes. That means like so he's saying that kids should get votes, but they should be given to their parents, and the parents can use those votes for themselves. What a fucking idiot! And like this shit came up, and like he's like not like getting away from it. He's like doubling down on some of this. It's like this is going on way longer because like him saying the childless cat lady shit was like years ago when he said it, like a couple years ago, not that long ago. But and the fact that he can't get out of it like for one news cycle, is it on multiple news cycles? Like, dude, this is what happens when you don't vet your fucking VP.
Yeah.
Worst VP pick in the history of VP picks, period. Already.
Yeah, there's some interview where they were talking to Donald Jr. and he's just like yacked out of his mind and is like he creeps me out, man. He's wild, but he was just trying to defend because apparently he was the big proponent of Trump picking JD Vance was one of the
Oh,
big
yeah,
pushers
it was
of
both
it. Was,
Eric and
Yeah.
Don Jr. were all about it, and then also Elon and Peter Thiel.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think this comment though, it's absolutely absurd, but it does tap into for some people, and this isn't for everybody, but there is a little bit. As somebody who doesn't have kids, like you don't have kids, there's a
That I know of.
there is a kind of like a pretentious attitude from time to time from people with kids about somebody who doesn't have kids' opinions not mattering, or who are you to tell me, or what do you know, because like we don't have a stake in shit. And I'd say it's like that's not. I mean, you can have kids and not have a stake in the future.
It's like
of
I
this
would
country
die
or
for this
government.
country. Okay, like I don't need kids to
Well,
have a stake. You know what I'm saying?
have a
Like
stake
I
in
would
the country.
literally put my life on the line for the country. So go fuck yourself. Dude.
So that comment, while absurd, does tap into a little bit of that for certain people who are like, well, yeah, I don't disagree with that because I have kids and I know better because I have children.
What, you fuck somebody? You're like, well, good job for you.
It's wild, and I feel like the Republican Party's been more of a proponent of welfare queens in the past decades, since the states with the most intake of state government assistance is red states. It's your Kentucky's, your
they don't know, they don't think about. I mean, that's forever. That's always been forever.
No, I know, but
That's not new.
To have a VP candidate make such a brash and ignorant comment as that, whenever it's the facts of that topic show and have for an extended period of time that if there is like a welfare queen or somebody who's sucking off of government assistance long term, it's more likely to be a family from a red state or a person. There's an incentivization in some states. It's normally like a state like New York or California is putting more into that pot they never take from it.
100%.
Like
that's
they're
true.
subsidizing the other states that aren't flipping.
There's a
their
famous
bill.
book called What's Wrong with Kansas. Came out like probably 25 years ago at this point, and it's that Kansas constantly Kansas, I don't know, Kansanites. I don't know what the fuck Kansas. I don't know. People from Kansas.
Kansas, dog.
Kansians.
That's tight. That's cool.
Yeah, Kansians.
I like that.
Kansians.
Yeah, shout out.
That they constantly vote against like their like what's good for them like in government. Like they're constantly voting for Republicans, yet like they're all poor as fuck and like would like really benefit from all like the programs that Democrats push. And so we've known that.
Yeah.
That is a product of the Democrats not being good at messaging and the Republicans being really good at the culture wars.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an absurd thing to say, to think that if your kids are going to have a vote, just let the kid vote. That's fucking wild.
But also
Mormons would come up with a
embryos
storm, dude. There'd be a storm of Mormons voting. That'd be crazy.
Storming Mormons.
Dude, they'd be storming the
But
Capitol.
in Arkansas,
peacefully.
Yeah, right. In
No,
Arkansas,
I think they would be.
embryos are humans. So I'm just gonna start putting embryos on ice and get all the votes.
Yeah, so you put embryos on ice.
But
you got 8 kids.
But at the same time, JD, your boss, the Orange God King just told a bunch of Christians over the weekend that they're never gonna have to vote again after this time because he's gonna have it so fixed. So which one is it? You're gonna give votes to like parents, or are you gonna just let us not vote anymore?
There's a big there was an interview with Laura Ingraham, I think it was last night. She interviewed Trump, and they talked about both of these topics, and his defense of JD Vance was that he thinks family is good. That's literally a sentence he said. Well, he thinks family's good. It's like, oh, that's good. Like, oh, wow. And then in regards to that, he didn't even answer the question on the comments that he made, because when you hear it, it just sounds absurd. It sounds like
he said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, he said the quiet part out loud, and it's like, oh, just vote this one time, and then after that, we'll fix it, and you'll never have to vote again. It's like,
and also
what?
he also slipped too, and he was like, "You're a Christian, I'm not Christian." I don't think he meant to say that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because he has definitely been trying to drag queen as a Christian ever since he got into politics. Like he would never go out of his way to say I'm not a Christian.
Yeah, he held a Bible in front of upside down after gassing a bunch of protesters.
My Aunt Phyllis, shout out, she told me that wasn't real. I was like, I watched it happen.
Yeah.
No, she told me no. She also said January 6th wasn't real, and I was like, I gotta go.
No, but this does for some though that resonates with a group of people, a voting demographic that do believe that they know better for this country because they have kids, and that comment is
Well, let me tell you, that's
kinda
not the majority of people.
No, I know,
That's
and then
a loser
and it
thing
panders
to write off.
it panders to that same group of people that are like
That's
going
not why
that
he
are
did it, though.
no well no but JD Vance making comments like this before has always kind of made controversial comments along these lines because he's definitely a grifter and a panderer to that movement we saw really pop up a little bit before COVID, but right when COVID popped off and then going into school with Zoom. I'm at a school board meeting, cussing people out. You can't do this. Citizens arrest bullshit. So the same parents that are going to show up and try to burn books in the parking lot, like, you know, and fight Montag and chase him in a helicopter like it's Fahrenheit 451. Those parents love that comment from
I don't think
JD
so.
Vance. You don't
No.
think so?
No, definitely.
That they should
I
have
don't-
more of a say than the parents
No,
who don't
they
have
don't.
kids?
No, they're not. He's not running. He doesn't want that to be out there right now. He didn't say that like yesterday. He's not like out there campaigning on that. He said that like, and it came back up. You know?
No, I know that.
So trust me, that is not like that's just JD Vance like riffing like you know, with Tucker Carlson or whatever the fuck he was on. You know, like that's him like in his own stupid fucking mind, probably like on the bad coke from like Don Jr. or something. I don't know.
No, John Jr.'s on the good coke for sure.
Yeah, that is
For
true.
sure.
Because he can't even hide it. Like you just know he's on it. Like
Yeah.
when you talk to him, like for 2 seconds, talk to him for 2 seconds, you know
He's
he's on that good.
He's like fucking Fredo or something, like from
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Godfather. No, like seriously. So you know he gets it, but because he's like pushing shit for some like
He
you
doesn't
know
get anything, dude. He's a
Mongolian
dumbass.
mafia or some bullshit. So he's pushing coke and skimming off the top. He's the guy that gets caught like 70% of the way through the movie and gets murked because he's like skimming their coke, and he's like, "What, you don't got to do this, Johnny." He's like, "Yeah, I fucking
We're saying
do."
hypothetically.
Yeah,
because of this.
hypothetically. I'm just saying that he reminds me of one of those characters
Oh, for
when I
sure.
watch
He's
him. do
Fredo.
these-
He's a
in-
Fredo.
He's in these interviews, man. He just looks like so yacked out and just.
In like the Real Housewives of New Jersey, if you call someone like a Fredo, I think that's like fighting words.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
But JD Vance is a fucking idiot, and they like every like worst VP pick, because like the last thing you want to do is be as a presidential candidate is to be defending your VP candidate, and they just came out of the fucking convention, and Kamala's out here raising like 250 fucking mil. Like these guys are done. Like they got caught with their fucking diapers down. JD's gonna probably need some support and like you guys to ship him some diapers because he's not gonna have a paycheck pretty soon. But does he have kids? Because I haven't heard anybody ask him.
No, he does have
and
kids.
I haven't googled.
He has
I haven't
kids.
googled it. That'd be so funny if he didn't.
He has kids. Well, there was a whole pushback
And he's only
on Twitter.
39. Like how many?
There's
like,
a whole
like,
push-
So how long ago did he have kids? Was he an idiot up until like 6 years ago?
Well, there's a whole pushback too because he's married. He has there. It's stupid, but on Twitter because he's married to like a person of color, like his wife.
An
is,
Indian
Yeah,
woman.
his wife is not like so
It's
for
like Kamala Indian.
yeah. And there was a whole group, a whole sect of people on the right who weren't educated on JD Vance when it came to that. And then
They
it
weren't
was like,
educated at all.
and then,
To anything.
and no, I'm talking about just like the
Nobody
random
knew him.
Twitter troll or something. And then
Yeah.
whenever that came out, there was like this whole whirlwind of people trying to come to grips with it and were freaking out about it. The fact that that's who he's married to, and making that like a reason as to why he'd be a bad VP candidate. That was initially, and then it's like, oh no, man, just give it a couple of days. You'll be like, if you won't be as mad.
Candace Owens is accepted, you know.
Because Candace Owens will just say anything.
Right. I'm just saying, like they've gotten over it before.
Yeah. Some of
You
them.
know.
There's some people.
Tim
already-
Scott, or was it Tim Scott, the senator out of South Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like you know, one of the good ones, you know.
No, Tim Scott trips me out. Kind of
yeah.
looks like a turtle without a
But
shell.
okay, this is the other thing is in Ohio, which is a ruby red state at this point, you know, like reliably red, where JD Vance came out of. The Republicans swept like the governorship, and the other senator ran at the same time as him. and he and JD Vance got way less votes than the governor and the other senator. Like he still won, but he won barely in Ohio. So like he could barely win in his own fucking state as a Republican, which is insane. So like the fact that like I'm telling you, it's Elon Musk said I'd give you $47 million a month if you put JD Vance here, and he was already in the mix. So it was like okay, but then now Elon's trying to say that he never agreed to that.
Of course he
Isn't that
is.
the worst deal ever? A deal between Elon and Donald? Like
It's one of the worst deals.
Who's gonna fuck each other over quicker? You know.
Listen to my son Donnie Jr. from Dallas. Who shot him? Some people say it was Crystal. I'm not sure. Great show. Never figured it out, but no, he's polling at -2%. He's polling -2. Sarah Palin was polling better. Like I mean,
sure. Sarah Palin was likable.
Like The Rock would poll better.
Of course.
The Rock.
What is that? The Rock would poll better than most people in
The Rock could just show up and like be there, say a racial slur, and walk away, and still be polling better than JD Vance.
Well, he's allowed to, right?
It depends on what it is. I'm sure there's like a list. He's got 3 or 4 that he could.
He's
he
like
could get
so
away
ambiguous.
With.
He's so ambiguous.
He's got 3 or 4 he could get away with.
He could get away with most.
Yeah.
He starts calling JD Vance a cracker. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Therapy question number 2. Who would you pick to play yourself in a movie?
Ooh. So I didn't look at these because you came in late. So to put the questions in, you start.
If I had to pick, I would want it to be, I'd want it to be like a Denzel, obviously, but I'm not dark enough to be Denzel. I don't think I could
Darkness, everybody. Darkness.
So, I mean, I'd have to probably go with like, I'd take Lenny Kravitz. I'd take Lenny Kravitz. The hair would be good.
Isn't he like 70 or something?
Yeah, dude. Have you seen him? He still looks the same.
I know.
It's like insane. I'm like, I see a picture of him, and I'm like, who's
the wheels have to come off sometimes. It is LA, baby. It is LA.
Maybe they don't. The wheels don't come off. I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. He was playing some show, playing guitar, and his leather pants split, and his like dick fell out of his pants while he was playing on stage.
I had no idea about any of that. Of course, his dick's coming out.
And he was just like kept playing, like nobody gave a shit, and it was just like the crowd just like erupted in cheers or some shit.
He's a world-class stick man.
It was just like, yeah, and then like then he's wearing a dress in Hunger Games. I mean, I feel like he's
untouchable.
Yeah, I mean, kinda. He's like,
because his mom was an icon. He's an icon.
He's like Snoop Dogg, but not. He's like a different type of black guy.
He's like 8 years behind Snoop, as far as like becoming beloved, like lighting the fucking.
Yeah, like is Lenny Kravitz probably gonna play guitar or some wild shit at the World Cup ceremonies or at the Olympics or something? Yeah, probably. You wouldn't be upset. Yeah, if it just started, and he was like, people would be like, "Oh, American Woman, I love this song."
Yeah,
his dick would fall out, and then
exactly, and men are applauding, and women.
Blue Angels just right over the top,
boom,
dude.
Boom, I got hard.
Yeah, that's. It's the new addition to Mount Rushmore, dude. I think we just came up with a shirt that like we need to make.
Lenny Kravitz's cock.
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz playing guitar on top of the SoFi Stadium with his dick
with Snoop
out.
Dogg.
With Snoop Dogg.
With the Olympic torch.
Yeah, the Olympic torch, running with the Olympic torch.
Lighting a blunt with it.
And there's Blue Angels flying over the top and like a flying V.
America, fuck yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd hope it would be like a Denzel. That'd be cool. Or like they had to get the hair right, so it'd have to be like Donald Glover, have to be like Lenny Kravitz,
Eric Adams,
or Eric Andre.
That's what I meant. Eric Andre.
That would be. I mean,
I was gonna say that earlier, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do my boy like that.
No, it's more the voice. I mean, I've been told that for forever that we could have like the same cadence and our voices are extremely similar. So
I was just trying to think of looks like who's
fucking hilarious. Yeah, like I mean, we just don't care about our hair too, so it's great.
Yeah. Well, your hair looks different with the headphones on.
True, yeah, like pushes it and like poofs it.
It's a lot more. Yeah, you look like
a
lot more on point without the headphones. I'll say, just because we look so much alike, Harry Styles.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Brad Pitt, Fight Club Brad Pitt, just like every other guy.
Okay, you'd be like every other white guy.
Yeah.
Space Monkey. Yeah, great movie too. That was like everybody's every angsty teenage boy's favorite movie. Like, do you want to come over and watch Fight Club? And you're like, yeah. Fuck yes, I do.
Chuck Palahniuk wrote the book, and then he wrote a book called Choke, which is actually my favorite book. Not my favorite. I guess, like, if he wrote my favorite book, should he be my favorite writer? Unless I got a favorite writer who just puts out hits, just not the number one.
No, I mean, because you could have your favorite book could be written by one person, but then
Right.
you could have a favorite writer who you like and appreciate their collection more, you know?
Yeah, but he's starting it off pretty hot with my favorite book, Choke, and then Fight Club.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got another book, too, that I read. It's about, like, people coming out of a cult. It's pretty cool.
I feel like that'd be tough to be writing books like banger after banger.
Well, I think these were a while ago.
Or you just be like George R. Martin and just like write 2,000
James R. Patterson.
Just write these massive ass books, or the Kindle books, these like smut books that I swear anybody.
I told you I only read them on Kindle too.
Yeah, all these Kindle books.
Romantic. Man. Yeah.
You know, it's like there's just wild shit. There's just wild shit written in those books. It's crazy. It's just porn. That's all it is. It's
crazy.
Porn. It's porn. That's all it is. It's like the story section of a porn mag without pictures. It's like the wildest shit ever. They're like at like crate and barrel. Like
first time I jerked off was to an erotic story, dude. No photos.
There you go.
I got a photographic memory, so you know.
Well, if that's, I'm just okay.
Therapy question number 3.
Yeah, are the Olympics cool anymore?
I don't know, but y'all made my mom's head explode, dude. Like, I missed the opening ceremony live, but I saw some of it while I was playing poker on Friday night. But my mom was all fucking sorts of mad about the menage a trois. Again, I haven't gone back and looked at it. I don't know how risque it was, but my little brothers, they're just yelling at her like, "It's France. This is part of their culture. Menage a trois." My mom's like, "It's disgusting. You know, what if kids are watching this? Why does everything have to be like this?" And then they had a bunch of what do you call them? And I get her to like drag queens. Yeah, drag queens. Doing the mocking the Last Supper with Jesus. Meow. And I was like, what? I was like, do you think Jesus would have turned away the drag queens, Mom? I don't think so. And then she's like, this is just
and it's a depiction.
Leave religion out of it.
It's it had nothing to do with. Well, I mean, it's like a Greek mythology thing. So that depiction is actually a depiction of something completely different. It has nothing to do.
It's not the Last Supper.
No, it's actually something that the picture of the Last Supper was probably ripped off this actual thing and then integrated it. Yeah, because it's from Greek mythology. So
my brother said Jesus might be gay. He's like, he had 8 guys following him. I'm like, Brady, come on. I was like, it was 12.
Come on, man. But no, the Olympics. I think they're still kind of cool. I think people are just annoyed.
Yeah, they're definitely cool.
Everybody's just annoyed with everyone, and I mean, I'm not the biggest fan.
Who's annoyed? What are you talking about?
I think everybody's
everyone.
Everyone
was upset about Simone Biles. Not true.
No,
like,
but
I'm saying Black Twitter.
Are we
Black Twitter?
Are we annoyed with the people that would be annoyed at Simone Biles? Yeah, they're annoying. We're all annoyed with each other in some way, shape, or form. So I think that people were banking, were looking. That's what I'm saying is Christians. And there's nothing wrong with Christians, but it's a certain pocket of
allegedly
them, just watching. Shout out. Just watching that, looking for something to be fucking upset about. Like
that's my mom.
Yeah, that.
But so then I try to give her like articles about Donald Trump every day, like one a day, and just to give her something to be upset about, and she's like, Andy, there's an article about everything. Like, the thing is, like, she can't tell between, like, real shit and fake shit, like, online. So, like, like, she has this newsbreaker app, which is, like, bought by, like, Republicans, and it, like, just feeds fake information.
That is a boomer epidemic right now.
It's insane. But, so, like, to her, it's like, and so, like, they have just crazy-ass articles all the time about, Biden and Kamala Harris. And it's like, well, Trump actually has every day could be an article about something crazy Trump did. So to her, it's like a wash. It's like same thing on the other side. It's like, no, like the ones that coming out about Trump are true. Like he literally did tell his nephew to let his son die and then to move to Florida. That did happen.
That came out. That's wild. come. It's crazy. Well, the Olympics are still cool. I mean, Paris is a shitty place to have them. They're
Why?
the triathlon. They were going to swim in
The French are just going to quit anyway.
They spent $1.5 billion trying to get this water swimmable, and it's still not swimmable.
That's funny.
That's fucking
funny to me.
That's fucking
That's a dirty ass river, France.
That's disgusting.
That's a dirty ass river, dog. You had like 8 years to plan for the Olympics, at least 12.
$1.5 billion.
Well, they got to get it fixed, right?
At some point, and they're like, "We'll do it for the Olympics." That's everyone does it. It's
and
like
just still shits in it.
I mean, they built an entire city, a whole fucking world universe in the middle of the Middle East for the World Cup.
Oh, I know.
So yeah,
but that's just a dirty ass river. I feel like that they haven't been able to like use that river for like decades.
Oh yeah, I mean you wouldn't want to fall into that shit. That's disgusting. But then to be like,
so they were trying to like oh, this would be a good time to revamp it.
Give us an excuse. They just couldn't do it. It's like
They still say the triathlon. It's just paused right now. It's not because the triathlon was supposed to be already ran, but they can't yet until the river gets a little less shitty.
What can they do to make it less shitty? They've had all this time to plan. 1.5
weather.
They're just like calling up. We need every pool man.
I'm here to serve.
You're out there.
Send me out to Paris.
Bonjour.
And then you could send me out to Tahiti for the surf.
Hey, let's go.
That's where all the surf competitions are.
But
France is like, yeah, we used to own Tahiti. We'll just send them out there.
And I've enjoyed that over time. The broadcasting of the Olympics has gotten better because you could be watching like boxing, judo. Handball's crazy. The cross country horse shit was wild. There's also like I feel like every year I'm exposed to something new, and since
every 4 years.
Yeah, every 4 years. The field hockey's been wild. Women's U.S. rugby won their first medal. The men's gymnastics team medaled for the first time since 2000, and only the second time in like fucking 40, 50 fucking years. Some crazy shit like that. In men's gymnastics. So it's definitely still
it's cool as fuck. Like I mean I like it. Like I don't know, like people just have a take on everything now and people are just fucking bummers. Like I'm tired of you negative ass Nancy's out there, dude. City boys up. Hot pool boy summer, shit's looking good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never been better to be alive than it is right now, man. Like the least amount of murders, the least amount of war, the least amount of poverty. Let's go. Get your coconut trees and start shaking.
It's hot pool boy summer at the splash pad.
Ooh, okay, girlfriend.
That's the neon you have. You have a neon that just says hot pool boy summer. And you have that inside, but visible from the outside through a window when it's on.
Maybe two.
Like
maybe a big one outside, a little mini one, and inside to remind people.
Yeah, just let them know.
Yeah, and I did write a song called "Summertime in the California Winter," so we could keep that sign up 12 months a year.
Well, what's y'all's nickname as a duo? If that's the Splash Pad, who
Splash Brothers? No, I guess
that's
how
you can't. Yeah. So that's where it's like.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta come.
Maybe like the Splash. Instead of brothers, Hermanos.
You gotta have some cool name.
Okay, well we'll work on it later. Not with the audience listening,
I'm just saying. All right, see, but you gotta complete the circle.
I get it. Hey, baby, my bed's not moved in yet.
But when do y'all move in, by the way?
Oh, we got the keys on Sunday, so like we could slowly move in. I just haven't moved my bed over. It's like down the street. I had a shorty over already, but I didn't have a bed, so.
Come sit on my floor.
Yeah.
So where do you think the bed should go?
Ooh, right under your ass, baby.
Therapy question number 4. We saw this with JD Vance. I
didn't know what you're talking about this.
The JD Vance. It's allegedly it didn't happen.
No, say what you're talking about because I don't know. This is the first I've ever even heard of this.
Would you fuck a couch?
So JD Vance apparently fucks couches.
There's this whole. It's a not true story, but it caught like wildfire, where he has it.
No, it's not true.
Well, there's been reports that it's not true. The story is that in his book, Hillbilly Elegy. Elegy. Well, it sounds hillbilly elegy. Just sounds better.
No, he's not ill. He's not ill.
There's a part where it talks about him and his friends discussing how they would used to push 2 couch cushions together and fuck a couch. And then this meme started that caught like wildfire. Next thing you know, there's tons of memes about JD Vance fucking couches. It made its way to Fox News, or someone's like, they have like a pretty big couch size problem on their hands. Like all sort, and I think that was on the 5. Like so many
Shout out
comments.
the 5.
What?
Shout out the 5.
The 5 serve a
They have
purpose.
I forget her name, but they have a really really good Democrat on there now.
Oh, that's
like,
the one who
guy.
made it. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. She just like talks shit all the time.
Yeah, usually they just have like an idiot Democrat just so they could all like make it a punching bag. Now she's like the smartest person on there, but which is a low bar.
Yeah, but she's the one who
is smart.
She's the one who made that comment.
Nice.
So it's really 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 funny. But it just started to spread like wildfire that JD fucks couches. There's videos, memes, all sorts of things about JD Vance fucking a couch, allegedly. Him and his friends discussing that they had it all at one point been down so bad that they fucked a couch.
Been down so bad. Please, you started fucking couches. You're still fucking couches, and you're gonna be fucking couches when you lose the election. Go fuck yourself and leave a couch alone.
Get off my ottoman.
Yeah.
You couldn't like have them on any of the furniture.
Hey, JD, fuck yourself. Save a couch. That should be signed.
That would be a really good shirt.
Yeah.
Save a couch. Fuck yourself. And it says like a picture of JD Vance on it.
That could be the episode title.
Yeah, well, we'll get flagged.
We don't want to get
we'll get flagged.
Oh,
like
man.
we'll get flagged like that one
Shit.
episode.
Then our homies in Germany won't be able to get it.
With
Oh, actually, no, they probably will get it because Germany.
the Kim Jong Il Putin sex tape title that got this like shadow banned, where like no one was like,
So, like, you guys are putting a sex tape on here. Spotify was like, hey, you go fuck.
yeah. YouTube was like, nah, bruh. They were like, nah.
Wait, you're gonna put a sex tape and say that?
And then it was like, and this is not like up for review. Like I changed it. They're like, no, like it's
We're done
gone.
here.
Yeah, we're done. Nice try though. I was like, oh, okay. And it's still up, but if they're not logged in or somebody's not a registered YouTube user who's over the age of 18, so it's just like you have it on your phone and you don't have an account, it won't even show it to you. It's just like
We got demonetized on an episode title. That's what we're saying, y'all.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't fuck a couch. No, too dry for me.
I don't know how you
Maybe a waterbed.
Waterbeds
No,
are
I'm
weird.
just
That's a
kidding. I don't
weird.
know.
That's
Bro,
a
I was
weird
just telling
time.
you about my libido. You know what I'm saying? Like I forget that I can like masturbate regularly. Like it'll be like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh yeah, that's something I could do. That's like how Lexapro's fucking your boy up.
Waterbeds were such a weird time. That's like a
It
weird.
was.
That's like a weird thing.
No,
You
it's
know?
because it sounds like it would be awesome, but then it was like no. It's like Tempur-Pedic and shit. Like that's all was probably made because waterbeds existed. Waterbeds sounded like they'd be good, but then it was like actually they're probably really bad for your back. But let's find something that is good for your back instead of just like a standard ass mattress.
Like I never knew a normal person who slept on a waterbed.
My parents had one. For like, I mean, not for like that. Like when I was like really young, but they got rid of it pretty soon.
Yeah, but like that's just such a weird.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, it was like an upgrade, you know, like for
How? I mean,
because they didn't know the waterbeds didn't exist, and then everybody who got one was like, this sucks.
like the risk of flooding your house. Like waterbeds are weird as fuck. That's just a weird time to be alive. But I'm glad I got
Not
to.
making a comeback. Not making.
No, and I'm glad I got to be around, like, to see that, like, witness it, because I remember people who had waterbeds. I'm like, how do you sleep in this? How would you do anything in this? You're going to pop this. Pop it.
It seemed like crazy technology to me as a kid, but it's just like a fucking bag full
Like,
of
you
water.
could be asleep and wearing your watch and poke a hole through it. Next thing you know, you're fucking drowning. Ooh, I wonder. I wonder if somebody's
as a pool man,
died.
I'll be there. No,
I wonder if
it's just
somebody's
not enough
died.
water to die in a
Hey,
fucking
I'm
water.
just, anything. Hey, man, I don't know. That'd be if I saw it on 1,000 Ways to Die, I would not be surprised.
The
I
last
knew it.
person to die from a waterbed accident has been dead for 50 years. Jessica Tarlov is the person we were talking about on the 5. Just want to give her a shout out.
Oh, okay. You Googled her?
Yeah. Real quick, I went and saw Twisters.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. I heard it was good. People have told me that it was good.
Yeah, it was good. I took 200 milligrams of THC like 45 minutes before. So it was a little intense for me at times. Like I caught myself like, you know, with my body like clinched and like yeah, and it was kind of cold. But but no, it was. How about this? It was like it wasn't like, oh, dude, you have to go see this, but like you will definitely you'll enjoy it if you go see it.
Yeah, well, I won't be disappointed and be
Nah,
pissed off.
it,
All right, because it's
just
the way.
remember what it is, you know.
Well, I know, and I remember what the first one was.
And I told you that actor is a good actor. That guy, I still don't know his name. That's fine.
The guy who plays the
The main guy.
the wild cowboy, the Bill Paxton knockoff.
He's not. That's not what he's trying to do.
No, that's true. Actually, Bill Paxton wasn't one of
Glenn Powell. He's really
Glenn
good.
Powell. No, I mean it looks good. A lot of people have told me that it was better than they thought it was going to be, so I'm gonna have to go see it.
Hitman is the movie that I saw with him in it that I keep forgetting the name of. It's on Netflix. Glenn Powell. Watch it on Netflix. And then you'll be like, oh, dude, this guy's fucking tight.
Okay, then I'd be into him fighting tornadoes. I'm like, I watched you kill a bunch of fools. I'll watch you.
Well, no, it's Hitman's not even like him killing a bunch of fools. No, you'll just be impressed by his acting. I think. I mean, I was like blown away just by his acting.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Check it out. Well, shout out goes to Bill Paxton.
All right, y'all. We are moving on to the topics. First topic of the day. Article of the day. The Pentagon wants to spend 141 billion with a B dollars on a doomsday machine. The Department of Defense wants to refurbish intercontinental ballistic missile silos that give it the ability to end civilization. But these missiles are useless as weapons, and their other main purpose, attracting an enemy's nuclear strikes, serves no end. If you're one of the millions of Americans who live within range of its 450 intercontinental ballistic missile silos, the Pentagon has written you off as an acceptable casualty. The silos are scattered across North Dakota, Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, and Nebraska in a zone of sacrifice, what lawmakers and military planners have long called the nuclear sponge. Despite real concerns over cost overruns, human lives, and the general uselessness of ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, the Pentagon is barreling forward with a plan to modernize those silos and their missiles. Right now, the Department of Defense thinks it will cost 141 billion. Independent research puts the number at closer to 315 billion. What are your thoughts about modernizing our nukes and the fact that if one of these ICBMs goes off, then human civilization's over anyways?
That's a spooky thought, but that's been like the thought.
And that the thought is that they put the silos where they put them so that other countries would bomb there and not like Washington or LA or New York.
Oh yeah, I mean, why else would you be putting shit out? Like, all right, we're gonna build this big ass missile place in Wyoming. Like, they call them like.
There's room.
Yeah, because there's room, and they're like, who cares?
I know, and let's not overplay the millions of people, because it's like, come on, man, like all the red states combined have less people than LA.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want them to not. Nukes are weird because you want them to be modernized. I suppose you want.
Yeah, I know. I know. Trust me, I think about this more than you would even imagine.
You want them to be, but because you don't want some old leaky ass nukes lying around that are gonna just like.
But it's a catch-22 because it's like, yeah, exactly what you're saying. You want them to be like, top of the line, state of the art, not leaky. But at the same time, we're trying to not proliferate new nukes in the world. Our job is to like get rid of them. Like we're trying to get to zero if we can. So when you're modernizing it, you're by that very ipso facto, as they say in Latin, you're proliferating nukes.
Yeah, you're like compounding the issue.
But it is kind of insane.
All of this money,
because I remember Barack Obama tried to do it, and then so what happens is if the DoD, the Department of Defense, has a project and it goes 25% over budget, then there's an investigation that can happen. And so this thing is way over budget already, and like they're just like, yeah, it's going to be like 141, which is over what they said it was going to be in the beginning. It was like 78 or something, and then that independent people are like, it's going to be like over 300 billion, and it's like, yeah, well, once we get there, they're gonna be like, oh, we're already there, like halfway there, like it's like that type of shit.
Well, we can't stop now.
I know, and at the same time though, Like, dude, I met this guy. He worked at like the nuclear site in San Diego, and he was like my age, and he was like selling me drugs, and like he was like doing way more drugs. I'm like, dude, this is not safe. Like, this guy's in charge. Like, people like this. What the fuck? But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but all this money the Pentagon
It's a lot of
plans to
money.
use to build a doomsday machine, a weapon that whenever it's used would mean the end of civilization. Such a weapon, most experts agree, is pointless. Yeah, because ICBMs are a relic of the Cold War. The conventional thinking is that nuclear power needs three options for deploying nuclear weapons: air-based strategic bombers, sea-based stealth submarines, and land-based missiles. That's the nuclear triad. Yeah, nuclear triad.
That was written. I was just
Yeah. Should one leg of the triad fail, the other two would prevail. That's wild. I mean, do we need... That's some HARP shit, which is one of my favorite conspiracy theories, which is, there's this big satellite array called HARP that some people believe they can use to control weather, or they've used it to force earthquakes, but it can, it shoots radio waves up and it can move the ionosphere, move it, and then whenever it comes down, there's all these conspiracy theories. Jesse Ventura did an episode of Conspiracy Theory.
Oh, what did he say?
He rolled up to the gate. He's like, "Why
Jesse,
won't they let me in here?
Jesse's
Why
listening,
won't
right?
you let me in?" They're like, "Dude, you're not supposed to fucking be here."
Jesse, why were you down there?
I flew up all the way from the Baja just to be here. But there's a whole episode where it's like HARP, HAARP, and it exists, but it's like a government satellite communication array. It's massive.
Trust me, Elon will tell us, dude. He's got more satellites up there than the United States does at this point. It's like if something like that existed, he'd let us know.
Well, it's land based, so it projects up, but they don't really say what it's used for, what its purpose is, and some people believe it's used for climate change or to create natural disasters or events. Pretty interesting conspiracy theory, but I mean
natural disasters cost so much fucking money. Why would we do it on purpose?
Well, not to us, to others.
Oh, well, we have them pretty bad over here.
It borderlines the Jewish space lasers type conversation. It's along
sounds like it.
It does, but there's an
it
actual.
Just needs a religion. It just needs a religion.
There's an actual place. There's an actual
oh yeah,
thing.
and there is too with the Jewish space lasers. It's George Soros. It's the backyard. George Soros.
Well, it'd be like finding an actual laser in space that's that they don't like. It's got a Yiddish written.
Let's send Marjorie up there to go look.
She go up with Elon or Bezos. Send him in his.
Elon will never go up. Bezos went up.
And his dick rocket. That thing is so cringy. No, Elon's just gonna go up whenever they go to Mars.
No,
that's what he's got. Yeah, I feel like he's that kid. He's like, no, I'm gonna run it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Right there, guys.
I'll do it in a sec. I'll have
I'm impregnating another woman.
I'll do it whenever just we need more people here before I'll do it, guys. I swear to God. But I'll do it. I promise.
My stomach just kind of hurts right now. The ketamine hits hard. It hits different.
And I'm built different. We're all different, dude.
Oh, skibbity toilet, guys.
Yeah. Oh, why are you acting all skibbity Ohio Riz right now, dude? Get off your yacht. Quit mewing and gooning.
Ooh.
And start maxing, bro.
Ooh.
Love it.
You know they're making a skibbity toilet movie.
Good. Brain rot is.
Spoiler alert.
That's what it's. There's a whole universe. There's a whole skibbity toilet universe.
I know.
The videos are extremely disturbing and don't make sense. And there's dudes in heads in toilets, flying helicopters.
Human heads with bodies, toilet bodies, and then human bodies with camera heads fighting in a war.
I don't
Skibbity toilet.
I don't understand it.
Coming to a theater near you. Baby.
I hope they add skibbity toilet to Fortnite or something. I'd totally be like, oh, I gotta buy that skin. Gotta get some V-Bucks.
Oh yeah, and then we'll spin off a streaming of you playing Fortnite at Skibbity Toys.
Yeah. Oh, dude, done. Skibbity verse. No,
I'll be Skibbity Urinal.
We have to keep these up to date, keep them modern. Building a massive death ray on some Lex Luthor shit is goofy as fuck to me. I mean, the fact that
all we're doing is just we're just making the nukes that we have now better, and fine.
If we're gonna refer to it,
don't tell me about it.
If we're gonna refer to it as a doomsday weapon,
that's what the reporters are.
Yeah.
The reporters are like, dude, we're done with this shit. We've told y'all this is so stupid. We're just gonna call it a doomsday weapon now because fuck you.
Do you think they already have a doomsday weapon? Probably.
They do. They're just saying they're making it better. It's already what it is.
We're adding more doom and gloom to the doomsday weapon.
A more American carnage.
Yeah. You know, I've
Like a
said
dog.
that if we're gonna destroy the world, we have a rocket could do it. 5 minutes, destroy everything.
If anybody could do it, we need to be able to
burn it
do
to
it.
a crisp. It would do it in an hour. Why not do it in 30? Why not do it in a cool 30 crisp 30 minutes, you guys? Why not? That's what I'm gonna bring you. So that's like all it is. It's like, hey, we'll accelerate it, kill everything on the planet. 15 seconds quicker. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for speed, efficiency. That's the American way. So this is goofy.
It is good and goofy. It's like a jobs program, basically.
Yeah, it's just like something they throw money at. They're like, okay,
So people, like,
it's like in the budget. So like, fuck it, make them. I don't know, do whatever.
Just like the F-35. It's like we're finally talking
Let's
about.
weaponize.
Hey, maybe this shit doesn't work.
Weaponize sea monkeys. Just figure it out.
Too late, dude. Too late.
2 billion. There you go. Don't worry about it. Does that
sometimes the Pentagon asks for less, and the Congress guys are like, no, it's like it's in my district, dude.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's like 10,000 jobs. That's how I got my job. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up. You're weaponizing sea monkeys, whether you like it or not. I ran on this platform, and you're not gonna make me a liar.
Yeah, right.
So take these billions, bitch.
They don't give a fuck about that.
Take these billions, bitch.
It's table stakes to be like a hypocrite for the Republican Party now. Like, you got to come in and say some wild shit and then just flip your position like a week later.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of hypocrisy across both sides of the aisle. So
Republicans have no shame.
Yeah, no, they have no shame.
They used to be a fiscally responsible, like blah blah blah, internationally responsible.
Socially liberal, fiscally responsible.
No, they never said they were socially liberal. That's like what a Republican would tell you if like they were like lying to you and trying to get you to vote for them. Like, I'm fiscally conservative and socially liberal. That's what everybody says. It's like, shut the fuck up. Republicans have never been fiscally conservative. Democrats always have to come in and clean their fucking shit up. All right, let's take a quick 10-minute break.
Oh, okay.
We'll be right back.
We will be back.
Yep.
Recording in progress.
We're back.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? On to the next topic. So, this topic... Hold on one second. Okay. So this one is from Variety Magazine by Todd Spangler. X, formerly known as Twitter, suspends, then reinstates White Dudes for Harris account after group raises $4 million for her campaign. We scared Elon Musk. So I read this, and so today, I don't know if y'all saw, like, over the last week, since Kamala got basically put into the race, she held the day after, she held a call with 36,000 black women, I think it was.
Yeah.
And everybody was, like, super impressed. And then it was, like, 100 and something thousand white women for Harris on a Zoom, like, yesterday. And then they had, like thousands of white men, like, so they call it White Dudes for Harris. And they started a Twitter group. And X shut it down, suspended it. And then and in the article, it says that the reason why Twitter gave for suspending it was trying to evade suspension. That's like, I always talk about this and I've never gotten a good answer. It's like, how can you get arrested for resisting arrest? It's like, well, what were you getting arrested for to resist arrest in the first place? Like, there has to be something else, right? You can't resist arrest without being arrested, right?
Yes and no. You could be like, because resisting is such like a broad blanket term, so it's like failure to give ID is like, failing to
resisting arrest.
Well, no, resisting arrest, they would already be like, or if they're trying to detain you for something and you refuse to be detained, say someone
Right, but what are you being detained for in the first place? Why isn't that ever like I got arrested for resisting arrest? Well, what were you
well, they can
resisting?
detain you for almost anything if they're
No, I get that,
investigating a
but
crime, but yeah.
suspending them for evading
No,
suspension.
that's like writing somebody a ticket for going the speed limit
Well, how? Why?
because
No,
you're trying not to speed.
no, you're trying to evade getting
Suspension
suspended.
by what?
So
Following
what were
the
you?
rules.
What were you exactly?
That's
were
what
you
I'm saying,
getting
is
suspended
like-
for? This is the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So super
So
stupid.
anyway, so they put him back up, but they raised 4 million in an hour and a half during that Zoom meeting, which is a lot of money, but it's so light compared to how much money Kamala's like put up, like over 200 million in a week.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't shocking though, because I mean, for being a champion of free speech, Elon Musk mutes people who he disagrees with.
Of course,
Peter,
like the anti-free speech.
he sues people to try to get them shut down, like Media Matters. You have people like Peter Thiel who sued Gawker, used Hulk Hogan as a conduit to try to get Gawker shut down. Yeah,
and it worked.
And it worked. Yeah, used him, with all that shit. So we've seen these people try to control the narrative when it comes to things they care about. It's basically his own little personal Facebook page where he can just talk to people and just promote the ideas that he agrees with, which are normally like pretty fucking stupid. And he's been spinning. He's been spinning since Harris jumped into the race. Like the stuff he posts, for somebody that I have him muted, I do not follow him. He pops up in my feed all the time.
Of course.
Because he owns the app, obviously, and man, this dude, this apartheid billionaire is fucking spinning.
That's what I love. That
I fucking hate him.
Give him a nickname like Trump would.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's
apartheid billionaire.
Apartheid billionaire.
Yeah, he's the fucking billionaire
The
trying
Emerald-
to buy up
Emerald
elections.
King,
That he he's like he is the cabal, dude. Like that's what he like that. Like you what is it like? You either die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain. That's the thought. So he's lived long enough to now he's become like the billionaire cabal that's like behind the scenes paying for elections and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
doing the things that he complained about,
that
using
the
platform in a way that he complained about.
Right, exactly.
That he complained it was being.
First thing
used
he did
as,
was kick that guy off who was like tracking his like private plane.
like that kid.
Yeah, like the first thing he did, it was like free speech. Kick this kid the fuck off.
Well, he tried to get him to stop, but it's like, nah, man, this is totally like public information. Public information.
Right.
He's just getting trolled by a kid on Flight Simulator. Like, it's kind of funny.
No. So I mean, like and he said that the reason why he got red pilled and became like this when his daughter, or I don't know if it's his daughter, but when his child became trans, and he was like, oh, the woke mind virus, and he like death named her. He said it like his child had died, like now that they're still alive, like they're just transitioned.
Yeah, like tricked into it. Yeah. No, I saw that in that interview with Jordan Peterson, who's just not a fucking batshit crazy person. It's like
so funny.
He's like the Scarecrow from fucking Batman, dude. He's the fucking Scarecrow.
Everybody that I like typically agree with has that take on Jordan Peterson, and then like I've just never seen and I feel like I used to hate on him too, and then I like anything I've seen from him hasn't been that crazy. I just assume I haven't seen the craziest shit and just agree with everybody who I usually agree with that he's a fucking idiot. But usually when I see him, he's like not that crazy.
No, but because
he's Canadian or something.
He'll make statements that he'll present as fact when it's opinion. So he's very good at presenting his opinion as fact, like almost like a Tucker Carlson type. I mean, he's been decertified as a doctor. But
I believe
by the medical board of Montreal, he said some pretty. He had some good points in the beginning, but this is the whole thing. I mean, it's even if you're like right center, left center, you could have like a good start and a good idea or a good foundation to something, and they just like veer the fuck off to the extreme because of the publicity, for the shock and awe value, for the
You have
grifting.
to keep going further. Keep
Yeah,
going further.
for the grifting. You know, it's
like JD Vance.
yeah, like you have to, like, I have to always, you know, put a flag down and, you know, fight for this and fight for that, and it just continues to, like, unravel, because some of his comments won't be that bad, but then, yeah, he said some pretty stupid shit. Where he said some
It's like
pretty
you
dumb
take
shit.
it to its logical end, you know. It's like it's kind of like with Trump's immunity shit, you know. It's like it sounds kind of reasonable. Well, maybe the president should have some immunity, and then like, okay, let's test that. So an official act would be like asking SEAL Team 6 to go like assassinate somebody, is, you know, and then literally now the president can do that because that's the logical end to giving the fucking president immunity for official acts. It's like you can now do that. And so it's like with Jordan Peterson, he says some shit, it might sound reasonable, but then you're like, well, oh, it's like abortion, you know, like instead of in cases of the mother's life, you know, and then we see how that gets played the fuck out, and that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not reality.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But this isn't surprising. I mean, he's been suppressing speech that he disagrees with constantly. Mike Nels.
What are they going to say? Like, oops.
Yeah, Mike Nels, founder and CEO of a digital advertising firm, Authentic, who is one of the organizers of White Dudes for Harris, wrote in a post Monday evening on that X notified the group that this account was violating our rules against evading suspension. It said, "We scared at Elon Musk and at Donald Trump Jr. so much tonight. They suspended our account and won't let us back in. These guys are running scared of the success we've had tonight, but we're not going to quit." In a following post, I asked this question seriously: Are we the first white dudes to ever get suspended by Elon Musk on Twitter? I think we are. I think we are. I'm in an update Tuesday. So our tweets are back, but our account remains suspended according to Twitter. The account is permanently in read-only mode. Jesus. Our representative X has not responded to a request for comment. In a little over 3 hours, yeah, they triggered at dudes, the number 4 Harris Zoom call triggered 4 million in donations for Kamala Harris. Apparently someone else was triggered too. That's awesome. I mean, good for them.
Didn't he buy Twitter because he was like saying that they were suppressing like the political speech of like the people on the right? And then, like, he was like, and they weren't. It was like, you guys are saying wild shit, you know. So like that, those people are, but like, and then now he's just like blatantly like a dictator deciding to like shut this shit down. I mean, allegedly, we don't know exactly how it got suspended, but I mean, come on.
I think it's, yeah, like he didn't like the demographic or the people that were represented in Twitter who were moderating and making these decisions on who they'd suspend or not. It's like he didn't trust their judgment; he trusts his judgment.
Right. He was saying because of their demographics and political views of the moderators, therefore they are biased. And it's like, no, they're doing their jobs regardless of what like their political bias is. You are using your bias to suspend people. You know, they had like actual like rules and guidelines that they would try to follow. Like the shit, like, you know, with the Twitter files, it's like, oh, we caught him, and it's like, no, it just sounds so reasonable. It's like people in a room being like, hey, Trump's the president of the United States. Like, should we take this down? It's like, I don't know. It's like, it is kind of violating our rules, but like, he's the president. You know, it's like reasonable conversation that you would expect to have. Like, what is this conversation to suspend this group? Like, Elon like blowing a line of like ketamine up his asshole and then be like, take it down. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's an apartheid billionaire, Emerald King with blood on his hands, who comes from a place and comes from a country where he's, you know, his ideas, who he is makes him more important in a lot of different ways. So
because he has so many kids too, he probably gets a lot of votes.
Well, and I mean, somebody who's the richest man in the world, just having kids all over the place, being kind of, I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's, you know, allegedly, he's probably a shitty dad, and not really present at all. I don't.
What makes you say that? What makes you say that? He seems like a great dad. No, I'm kidding.
Well, he's got to be a schmuck. So, but he definitely he keeps having kids, and part of that has to be because he's like, oh, well, I'm genetically superior to everyone.
Well, no, he says it out loud. He's worried about the collapse. He said the biggest threat to like this country is the collapse of the population, and he's like encouraging people to have more and more kids. That's why he's had 13. He said, remember we talked about how he wanted to like ship his sperm out to Mars and start the colony with his fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right. The jizz colony.
So
I
JD
forgot.
Vance is just like is Elon extension into the into the Trump organization, where it's like JD Vance is making fun of people who don't have kids. Elon's on this like mission to have as many kids as possible. It's like it doesn't take too long to get to the attach those two things.
Populate Europa with Elon Musk's sperm.
Oh, can't wait. That's where it should be, as in Europa, like fucking like frozen.
Well, yeah, but he would drill a hole and they'd be like sea people. So they'd be like sea people because he's so pale. That's really what it is. He emerged from the oceans of South Africa.
That fool can't swim with this.
Not anymore. Ass. He's not anymore. He's not adapted to the water anymore.
His odd shaped body cannot handle the aerodynamics it takes to just float in water.
He'd be like he'd just be like a manatee. He'd float, but he wouldn't be able to move quick enough that if a boat was coming, like he'd totally get hit. And so they're like, "Hey, this is a no wake zone, dude. Watch out for the Elons that are floating out here. All right, they're kind of like sea cows, just like."
And if you're a womanatee, like watch out too, because these guys hate women.
No, that's true. That is very true. Musk, meanwhile, has not made a secret of his opposition of Harris. On Friday, July 26th, Musk shared a deepfake video that altered a recent Harris campaign video, which featured Harris saying she was the ultimate diversity hire. That's what he's always... And, like, dude, he says shit like that, like DEI hire.
It's insane how these people say this shit out loud when it's like, dude, you are just sound so fucking racist and sexist. Like because your other Republican homies are saying this too on TV means that, it's like the fucking Jews will not replace this tiki torch guys. They all like did it without masks on. It's like, bro, the Ku Klux Klan wore masks for a reason, because they were they knew that like what they were doing wasn't good.
They wouldn't want people to know that like this is their local sheriff, this is the fire captain, the mayor's
so just
here.
Because your homies are comfortable doing this shit out loud doesn't mean it's so no longer like completely horrific and offensive. Abhorrent is what I'm trying to say. Like DEI, like, so if she's not a white male, then you're DEI. That's like 75% of the fucking country, you idiot. You're trying to get elected.
And I think that attack has a lot to do with them. The shutdown of white dudes for Harris and everything. It has to do with that some of these guys are like pissed off that this black woman who's successful and has worked her ass off, whether you agree with some of the decisions she's made or not across her political career. I mean, they complain about law and order, but then one of the complaints that they use to get people of color to not vote for her is that she's too hard on crime. But then she doesn't do anything about
They're lost,
crime.
bro. They got caught with their fucking diapers down. Like, I can't believe that they didn't like at least think this was a possibility that she could take over. It's like I did, you did, we all did. Like, I mean, this is what your job is as a campaign, is to prepare for shit like this. How the fuck did you guys miss this? And you guys and it's like, it's so funny. Like, they got caught, and it's like right before this happened, they were like, MAGA Mike Johnson's out there like, oh, like, if they does step down, we'll sue to keep Biden like on the ballot. And it's like, before these guys can be like get that sentence off, she's already raised $200 million, and this shit is going. And guess what? She's on the fucking ticket, bro. It's like, sue to what? People were voting for her and Biden. Like, I mean, this is amazing, to be honest.
In a post,
this is going so smooth. Like, they were so fucking cocky and happy when after Trump got shot in the air. And like at the convention, like they were gonna fucking win.
How do you not? I
thought they were just gonna like be lazy Trump, just walk their way to the presidency. It's like, nah, dude, this is a real campaign.
How do you lose? How do you lose support after an assassination attempt? That's crazy.
Dude, if anybody could do it, it's Trump.
And that she had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet and wonderful mentor Joe Biden. The original account that posted the video labeled it a parody, but Musk post simply captioned, "This is amazing," with a crying, laughing emoji. In a post on Sunday on X, your boy, California Governor Gavin Newsom, cited an article about Musk's post and wrote, "Manipulating a voice in an ad like this should be illegal. I'll be signing a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure of this." Musk replied to Newsom, "I checked with the renowned world authority, Professor Sagandi's nuts, and he said parody is legal in America."
God,
he's such a tool.
That's what it is. It's parody, bro. It's like, it's not bad enough that he's gonna like let deep fakes happen and be on the platform, but he's gonna be promoting them. Like, what a fucking cuck.
Yeah. Next article. From the BBC. Shout out BBC. You never post BBC articles. I love BBC.
That's not true. Not true enough.
Well, we both have because I would pull for like BBC, NPR. We all have ones that we,
I'm subscribed. All right. The Mali's army admits significant losses in Wagner. Wagner, we'll call him Wagner Group. It's the Wagner Group. Your boys are back, friends of the pod, the Wagner Group.
Hey, Wagner Group. If you're gonna start a business, name it after the most famous Nazi of all time's favorite composer.
That's right. Wagner.
Marketing.
No, it's just to pay a tribute to the Nazis while you're making the mercenary group.
R.I.P. Like,
So,
that's insane. That's like
it is. Like, in case you had any questions of what these guys.
Yeah, I just imagine like the promo videos and shit that they would have, where it'd be like P Diddy's "I'll Be Missing You," but it's just like all about like Wagner and his music or something like that, dude. And just Prigozhin like riding a motorcycle and crashing it and getting in it and like walking around, and there's a ghost of Prigozhin. Like, it's kind of hard, but you not around.
Oh god. So for everybody, the Wagner Group is a mercenary group that is out of Russia, and they go into like countries in Africa that have like coups and shit, and they provide security for the dictator. In exchange, they'll get like gold or like money. They'll pay him, or they'll get like control of their like minerals and stuff, and so they can make money on it. So Mali just had a coup. I think it was like last year. It was like 6 countries had like coups like in like 3 years in Africa, like up in like Western Africa kind of. So Mali just had one, and Mali's army had to admit it suffered significant losses during 2 days of fighting involving Tuareg, separatist rebels, and Al-Qaeda linked militants. So they're fighting like that part of Africa does have a lot of like Al-Qaeda type and ISIS type shit that pops off, because like it is like connected to the Middle East, like, so there is Muslim stuff, and then because it's the law, and like you have dictators like doing coups and shit, and like it's like a lot easier to get away with shit like out there than it is like in the Middle East nowadays. So a lot of these like terrorist groups have moved to like northern Africa.
Well, there's a lot of dirty money, and there's a lot of blood money in just in Africa in general, where you have countries like Russia, countries like China, investing large amounts of money. They're funding militants, funding terrorists, giving people to overthrow governments, with all intent of this whole thing that's existed in Africa for eons is the exploitation of the people in the government to seize their minerals, to seize their assets, to seize their gold, their lithium mines or whatever, or apartheid emerald mines. Hey, shout out Elon Musk made all my money off of this. But they do that, and so that way they can come in and like seize those things. That's why I mean that was Europe's bag back in the day. Was
exactly that's what China's doing with the Belt Road Initiative, and that's what the Wagner Group does. But the Wagner Group does China does provide infrastructure, but they just
it's for themselves. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
But but with the Wagner Group, they go in and they're like essentially they're like a scary bad guy, that like group of mercenaries that Steven Seagal would fight on a submarine.
These dictators hire them because they don't have their own armies, or their armies aren't big enough, and so they're like, hey, let's make a deal. We'll give you like this gold mine, and you just keep us in power. Yeah, that's their MO. But here, there's real fucking shit that these governments have to deal with. So the coup government in Mali, which is run by like their military, like the head of their military, they're fighting these rebels, these separatists who are like not like I hate when they call them like rebels. It makes them seem like that they're like some like weird like group that hangs out like like in the woods or something. Like basically they're just people who were on the other side of the coup, and so they're fighting them plus Al-Qaeda linked militants, and they've hired the Wagner Group to come and help them. This is Wagner Group usually just probably doesn't have to do a lot. They probably kill some civilians, put down some protests and shit.
But they have nothing to do
except for steal gold.
Right now, that's we've talked about that multiple times. Where I swear there's just broken up factions of these guys, just all over the world now, especially in Africa, just hanging out, seized gold, all these weapons, militarily advanced over the governments that exist there too. That's why they hire them. They come in with their own hardware.
Right. So this fight breaks out in a fucking sandstorm out in Algeria. And Wagner like usually doesn't talk about their losses, but they said that they've lost anywhere from 20 to 80 dudes. So that's probably like over 100 dudes. They lost their commander in this battle. Uh, so like the UN said that they'd bring in troops to try to do like peacekeeping, and they said no. And so instead they had the Wagner group come in. Um, they were retreating, and I don't want to say the city. It's like Tinzouten after clashes with separatist forces from Tuareg ethnic group. While waiting for reinforcements, their convoy was ambushed and attacked by separatists and militants from an Al Qaeda affiliate, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM. This account is backed up by the Malian army, which said one of its units was encircled by a coalition of terrorist forces and fierce fighting began before the arrival of the reinforcements. The AFP news agency quotes its statement readout on the national TV as saying, "The exemplary bravery and determination of our soldiers could not avoid a large number of losses in human lives and equipment." Wagner estimated that Tuareg and Islamist fighters had combined manpower of more than 1,000 people, and that one of the 2 Russian helicopters that went to aid of the mercenaries and Malian soldiers was downed. And JNIM said 50 Russians and 10 Malian soldiers had been killed, although these numbers have not been verified. Dude, what a fucking disaster. It's like you're like Wagner just chilling like on your fat ass like for months, years at a time, like probably like, just way more military power than anybody like around you, and then now you get caught in the shit and your whole like group gets fucking murked by a bunch of like dudes from Al Qaeda in a sandstorm. Fuck that, dude.
Well, that sounds like a clusterfuck. We're in the middle of Algeria.
All these like Russians are probably drunk as fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's Russians, there's Wagner group, there's Al Qaeda militants,
1,000 of them.
Like all sorts of. You're getting in a fight with somebody else, and then all of a sudden,
got helicopters in a sandstorm. That's not good,
dude. That sounds like the biggest shit show ever. There's just like 6 different groups of people just battling it out. That's like an Anchorman when all the anchors come. Like yes, that really is.
And they're like, oh fuck, we got the Mali soldiers, we got Wagner group, we got Al Qaeda, we got the Tuaregan rebels.
Yeah, that's insane.
Throw in a fucking sandstorm.
Yeah, it's like
let's go.
It's like a Dungeons and Dragons scenario. All right, it's like all right, if you don't roll more than a 20, you're getting sandstorm. Shit. All right, sandstorm. You're like, damn, minus 15 XP to everybody.
You want to be in Algeria, and then a sandstorm kicks up, and then you get surrounded by 1,000 Al Qaedas.
And there's just a bunch of crazy mercenary Russians running around.
Yeah, your boys, they're no good. Russian, like they're like drunk, like probably like sexually assaulting like some locals. God damn it! But couldn't have happened to a nicer group.
No, I mean, I feel like since the Prigozhin.
You think Prigozhin would have let that happen?
I think since Prigozhin's been down, it's not really worked out that well for him.
Ooh. We're reading more. A spokesman for Ukraine's military intelligence has been quoted as saying Ukraine played a role in the recent ambush of the Wagner fighters in Mali.
Wait, they did what?
The Ukrainian intelligence gave the rebels the information so that they could kill all these Wagner groups.
That's tight.
I didn't even get to that part.
That makes sense.
The Malian rebels were holding Ukrainian flags after the battle. Ooh, Putin. We're just clowning you in Africa now. That's how it happened for the Nazis, dude. That's what happened for the Nazis. Because they came into Africa, we started whooping their ass in Africa, and it was a slow roll to the end for you, boy.
Yeah, I mean, but is Putin really pro Wagner Group? I don't feel like...
of course he is. He gets a cut. He loves that shit. It's like it's a proxy. It's just like how Iran has like the Houthis, the Hezbollah, Hamas. It's like causing chaos, and causing problems. Like the war in Ukraine would be over if Hamas didn't. The Wagner Group didn't come and save their ass in Bucha.
Yeah.
Like remember, like he was like out there, like just like talking shit to Putin because like Putin's folks couldn't get it done, and he did. Bakhmut, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, Bakhmut. That's right. No, I mean, you reap what you sow, man.
Yeah. Well, just had to, we were here when Wagner was up on top, And we just had to be here for the downfall too.
Yeah, we had to be there for the.
We got to follow up on the news.
Yeah, definitely in the Wagner news.
All right. So next article: the head of the Project 2025 has stepped down following Trump criticism. So for y'all that don't know, Project 2025 is a plan that has put together the first 100 days of Trump's new presidency should he win the election, where he basically it's like a Venn diagram from like Handmaid's Tale to Apocalypse Now to just all the worst shit ever, all Venn diagram into Project 2025. And people are starting to like figure out about it, and Trump's trying to keep it on the low. He says he knows nothing about it, even though everybody he's ever known is like the ones who are writing it. Stephen Miller, his head speechwriter, is the one who's like created it. The Heritage Foundation, who is like, the Republican think tank, is the one who came up with it. All right, this article is from the Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch, by Andrew Rustacchia and Vivian Salama. The Heritage Foundation official who leads the Project 2025, the conservative roadmap for the next Republican administration, is stepping down after former President Donald Trump and his aides publicly criticized the group, and Democrats decried its proposals as radical and dangerous. Paul Dans, the group's director, informed Heritage Foundation staff this week of his decision to step down. According to people familiar with the discussions, Dans didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Trump campaign senior advisors Susie Wiles and Chris Lascivitia pounced on the news. Reports of Project 2025's demise would be greatly welcomed and should serve as notice to anyone or any group trying to misrepresent their influence with President Trump and his campaign. It will not end well for you, they said in a statement. Wow, they really are going full force to Trump against this, because they know it's like not, the more people find out about this, the less people are voting for them. In recent weeks, Wiles made calls to Heritage officials asking them to lower Project 2025's profile, according to people familiar with the discussions. Lascivitia made his distaste for the group known as the Republican National Convention this month when he called Project 2025 a pain in the ass. That's what it is. Meanwhile, like, it's going to deport, it calls for mass deportations, concentration camps, no exceptions for abortion, for rape or incest. Like just fucking crazy shit. Using what is it called? Martial law to get protesters off the streets if Trump, wins. Like crazy shit.
Get rid of the Department of Education.
Right.
Bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. Like, read about it. It's really terrible. And then Trump's talked about it. Like, I think the count was like over like 75 times. Like, just he's brought it up. And now he's like, I've never even read it. I've never heard of it. He's like, in the same sentence, there's some things of it I like, some things I definitely don't like, but I've never even read it. It's like, well, how would you know if you like any of it, you fucking idiot?
Yeah, he's off.
That's how you know he's lying. It's like he's not even good at lying.
Not anymore.
I don't think he ever was. Just people didn't realize how much of a pathological liar he is.
Until it like reached
it's too late.
Until it came all crashing down. Yeah, it's possible. But no, I mean, that's a good thing. They've talked about it a lot. It's the moment
it's
it came
not going anywhere. It's just bad PR for them. It's
We're just
not
like, hey, like,
gonna do it.
Keep it down.
Yeah, like, are you fucking kidding me? As soon as they get in the White House, it's like, boom, let's go. Yeah, so it's just like, don't talk about it. It's like when Trump like said he was gonna like repeal Obamacare. They're like, shut the fuck up. People like that.
Well, and that's why, when then he says that and then makes comments about never having to vote again. It makes you just like, it makes you be like,
Yeah, they know it's super, super unpopular, especially when people know about it. And so, like, that's why they're like, oh, no, we have nothing to do with this, blah, blah. Because it doesn't matter if, like, they talk shit about it now. It's not like people are voting for them because of Project 2025. It's just, don't let people know. And once we get in, we can go do it,
Yeah.
Heritage Foundation, the same people who invented Obamacare, gave it to Mitt Romney. He implemented it into Massachusetts. Big success. Obama did it for the country. Republicans lost their shit. Same organization. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Final article. Just want to mention this. We don't have to read the article, but Hezbollah hit like a kids soccer game and killed like 12 kids like a few days ago. Hezbollah is the it's a military organization that's based in Lebanon, which is has the northern border to Israel, and Iran funds Hezbollah, and the Lebanese government is like feckless and like basically run by Iran. Like the Ayatollah like kidnapped like like president of Lebanon. I remember like 3 years ago, like he was still the president of Lebanon, and he's like, yeah, he can't leave. He was like, what?
Everyone's like,
Yeah, and then he like
He's-
they put him in like a hostage video, got him like on TV. He's like, I'm okay.
I feel happy here.
Yeah.
They have a Dave and Buster's. You're like, what?
Right.
They have a Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, so like Lebanon is its own country. It's like inflation is insane there. Like it's really bad, but that doesn't even really matter.
It's a hotbed for terrorism.
Yeah, and but it's like multicultural. Like Christians live there, Muslims live there, Jews live there. But it's always been like a hotbed because it is like, you know, strategic where it's located. It's right in the middle of the fucking shit. You know, it's like right on like its neighbors are Iran on one side, Israel on another.
Yeah.
That being said, so Hezbollah did that, and then Israel retaliated, just bombed like a suburb in Beirut, which is the capital of Lebanon. They've been talking about this like war bubbling up, like regional war, and this would be where it would start, was with Hezbollah. They've been already like fighting each other or like sending missiles back and forth since October 7th. Like it's just been like it's been pretty measured, and it's like soldiers dying, not like civilians. The thing with Hezbollah versus Hamas, Hezbollah has 100,000 like sophisticated rockets stored, like not like the rockets Hamas shoots off and just like, you know, wherever it goes, it goes. Like these are like, you know, got chips and shit in them, and 100,000, way more than Hamas. So this would not be good for Israel, like at all. But again, Netanyahu, if you know his incentives are to keep this war going, so he can stay in office, so he doesn't go to jail, just like Trump's incentives are to become president again, so he doesn't go to jail. So Netanyahu's going to want to get into a war with Hezbollah. So I don't know. You know, we've been holding it off for like quite a while now, but it seems to be heating up.
Well, it says they killed one of their top military commanders.
Right.
In this rocket attack.
That's Israel killing one of Hezbollah's top commanders in an attack on a suburb.
Yeah. And he's supposedly responsible for the Golan Heights attack. So
the Golan Heights was a disputed area in north. It wasn't even considered Israel's property. It was like disputed over like a couple.
I was going to say most of it's not. Sorry.
Yeah. And when Trump was in office, he gave them the Golan Heights, this like a part of the Abraham Accords, which is like us just giving like weapons to Saudi Arabia and the UAE. In exchange, they'll just treat Israel normally, and we'll give Israel the Golan Heights and move our embassy to Jerusalem, which was a big fucking deal, because like a big bad deal. Because that's, you know, like we've been keeping Jerusalem neutral so that Muslims can go there, Jewish people can go there. We purposely had our embassy in Tel Aviv, but not anymore. And there wasn't a peace deal, the Abraham Accords. What it did was show the Palestinians and Hamas that Saudi Arabia doesn't really give a shit anymore. They're going to become friends with Israel, and so that's kind of why the October 7th, you know, happened when it did, was because like they're like, hey, we're still here, motherfuckers. Is a theory, at least.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Netanyahu met with Kamala Harris, left a little bit pissed off, supposedly that the conversations didn't go well. They went better with Biden. She's definitely been more vocal about not liking the disproportionate attacks and loss of life from Israel. She publicly made comments about it after her meeting with him, and those comments supposedly pissed off Netanyahu. But
she was just like, I said the same fucking thing as Joe Biden did.
Yeah, basically. I'm just like, yeah. I'm just not Donald Trump.
You want to hear something hilarious? So whenever you like are the head of state and you come visit the United States, like you stay like in the guest house out in Washington, the people who are like servicing that house, you know, like the maids and, you know, all that, they'll wash your clothes for you. Netanyahu and his wife, every time they've come, bring dirty clothes with them to get washed by the staff at the house. Only people have ever done that, and they've done it multiple times. Because he's been here 4 times. You kept reminding us. He spoke in front of Congress 4 times, and Winston Churchill only did it 3. Fuck you, Netanyahu.
So he brings his own dirty clothes from his house.
So that we'll clean it for him.
wild.
That's how much that guy. That's why that guy's gonna go to jail, because he was like accepting like cigars and wine, dude. He's like a fucking grifter, like a broke ass grifter. Like at least Trump's like going for big money.
Yeah.
He's not getting it. He's going.
Yeah, Netanyahu's.
He's getting fined like $1 billion here and there. He's not getting the real money, but he's at least going for it.
Yeah, Netanyahu's out here taking favors, breaking
Trying to
laws,
get a wine.
getting like some fucking Jubilee or Jollibee fucking fried chicken or some fucking Canes. He's like, yeah, I'll do anything for some cane sauce. Like, I bet you would.
Stealing Tide Pods, like one for his mouth.
Bet you would, BB. Fucking idiot. That's so stupid. It's so transparent what he's doing, and even the people, like, if they weren't at war,
everybody knows.
If they weren't in this conflict right now, he would be voted the fuck out. He would be
voted out immediately, and
by everybody. Right.
Right. And it's not because they want him to go to jail. It's because they want him to fuck out, and he just happens to be gonna go to jail if he's not president or prime minister, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
President.
Well, I mean, keep an eye on that. Not that we're not, but Jesus. Yeah, they had a $5 million reward, the U.S. government, for information on him.
The commander of Hezbollah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hezbollah.
September 2019, the State Department designated him as a specially designated global terrorist pursuant to Executive Order 13224.
Yeah, Hezbollah bombed one of our embassies back in like the early 80s or maybe early 80s. I think Reagan was president. And yeah, it was crazy. Like killed like dozens and dozens of American Marines. Yeah, and you know what Reagan did? He pulled them out because he runs scared.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when I'm looking at this map, it's like there's Egypt to the bottom, Muslim Brotherhood, then you have Israel, Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon's up top. Syria touches Golan Heights and Lebanon and Jordan, and then Saudi Arabia is like down touches Jordan. So I mean, there's a little bit of a gap, but yeah, this is.
You mean for Iran?
What
a little bit of a gap of what?
Oh, just it's showing Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Israel, Egypt,
yeah.
Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it's just showing how they all. This is just like in the fucking thick of it.
Yep.
And then you got. Beirut, but I mean Syria. That area is just a hotbed for infighting.
Yeah,
religious zealots with bad ideas.
Yeah, well, just with just people, like saying they're religious, but really they just want power. Using religion to get power.
What? No, people don't use
to get or keep power.
Yeah, people don't use religion as a conduit to achieve their goals and snatch up power. They would never do that. How? Yeah. Wow.
Seems like it's like the definition. This should be the definition of organized religion.
Yeah, read a history book written by Joel
Made
Olstein.
Up bullshit to keep power.
Read a Joel Olstein history book. You'll learn something. That's not what happened.
That guy's not literate.
No, I think he is. I mean, he knows how to cash checks, sign his name.
No, that's why he keeps the cash in the wall.
In the wall, dude. That's so wild. I love how that happened, and it's just like hasn't been discussed.
People are like, whatever. We expect that.
Like it'll die down.
I know everybody who hates or sees Joel Osteen for who the fuck he is, was not surprised.
Yeah, they're like,
and then everybody who loves him was not going to listen to you. So.
And I was like, that's a smart place to put it.
I guess he got found.
Yeah, I mean, but they got found because there was a leak and it was a plumber.
No, I think it was God was looking out for him.
Bro, imagine like being in there and being super pissed off and like you just punch the wall and you just hit this big brick of cash and you're like,
that's
what?
A Jesus experience.
What the fuck? And you just like rip the wall out and leave. Like,
dude, I'd already be skimming off the baskets. Like I'd already have accumulated $250,000 if I was working there.
Yeah, it's too big of a room. There's too many people with those baskets. Like
the super producer, that was the first thing he ever said on the pod. First 10 seconds was how he used to skim off the baskets at church. I was like, whoa, we're going there?
Damn. That's savage. Well, 136. In the bag, go USA. Of course.
No, I mean, a shout out. We got like 50 countries listening here. Go Olympics.
Well, it's the Olympics, so go America.
Yeah, except for you, Belarus. I know you'd be listening. You can't even put up your real country flags. You're a bunch of fucking butt buddies for Putin. Go eat a dick.
Damn. Well, do you have any deep words of wisdom before we...
No, I'm never good, bitch.
You heard it. Well, we appreciate you guys swinging by as always. Like, comment, subscribe, forward, share, post, whatever the fuck. We appreciate you guys listening all the time. This is a crazy that we're creeping on 150. That's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, just be nice to each other. Shit's kind of crazy out there. Make sure you're registered to vote. If you're not, get on that shit now.
Hey.
Start that process now. Don't be a fucking... No matter how you vote, go fucking vote. I say that every time.
Yeah, knock on doors if you don't have money to donate.
Well, like, you know, in an official capacity, don't just start knocking on doors. Be like, hey, you gonna vote? Be like, dude, get the fuck out of my...
You can knock on doors by yourself.
Oh, I know, but...
In an official capacity, you're a citizen. You're just trying to let citizens know what time it is.
Hey, go vote. Be like, dude, get the fuck off my
not
property.
go vote. Go campaign for somebody. Pick somebody, but, you know who we're... I'm with her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Me too, Sarah Palin, 2024.
Ooh, you betcha. Drill, baby, drill.
What's wild is Sarah Palin polls better as a VP candidate than JD Vance.
No shit. He's the worst pick ever. I'm not saying that hyperbolically. Like, I'm telling you. Because, like, it's always the safe pick with VP, you know? And you always, like, you spend months trying to make sure this guy's not going to fuck your shit up. And he fucked your shit up real quick. Like, with McCain and Palin, they're just throwing a Hail Mary. They had to, like, shake shit up. But they knew that they were doing it. Trump didn't know what he was getting into here.
Yeah, he trusted his son.
Yeah, shake things up. He thought he had it in the bag. Ooh.
And if he loses, loses because of JD Vance,
he's not gonna lose because of JD Vance. He's gonna lose because of his fucking.
Yeah, but if that just compounds it, or he has to fire him and pick another running candidate because he's.
No. We'll sue him. We'll sue him to keep him on the ballot. That's what he said about. Yeah.
But you know, like Donald Trump will never tell Don Jr. he loves
him.
Also,
you can't fire a VP because they're elected. The only way they can leave office is if they get impeached.
Well, they're not in office yet.
No, I know.
But
don't tell Trump that.
But Don Jr. might never get that "I love you" he's been working his whole life for.
He never was.
Oh,
let's be honest.
Well, we appreciate you guys as always. Be good, be safe, stay out of trouble, and as always, go fuck yourselves.
Got it.
Recording stopped.